Hey everybody, so in today's video we're going to start working on this. We're going to get into part 1 and we're going to start figuring out this first page. Looks like we're probably going to get into some photo etch right away. So if you want to see that and more, make sure you stay tuned.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
Hello BSCFamily and welcome back to my bench. So today, like I said, we're going to start on first page here, right? And we may avoid doing 1 through 3 right off the bat. That's going to be fairly simple. What I want to look into is getting this photo etch stuff done on the cannons, right? But I'll probably still do some of this here today. But I want to look into this. Now, I did do some research on all of this here, right? This kit is meant for the Tamiya kit, right, of the USS Missouri. Now, apparently this kit is meant for the year of 1991. Now, I've been getting different things that's saying 1991, the Gulf War, or the Desert Storm. Now, if you know a little more about that, please let me know. Not sure. I want to take a look at what the airplane stuff looks like and go from there, because I kind of wanted the airplane stuff, but from what I'm looking at, this here is going to be a little better. It removes the airplane stuff, but it gives better radars and different things like that. So we might follow this kit completely and do the 1991 retrofit. Right? And just a little side note, I probably only paid maybe 20, we'll say 40 bucks for this kit. Okay, I got it from a garage sale. This photo etch kit, $288.46 USD, right? The wood deck portion of it was $39.76 USD. So I've got over $300 here. And if you can convert that into Canadian dollars, you're probably about $390, $420 worth sitting right here. So, and that's without the kit itself. So first things first is I want to get all this stuff out of the bags, right? Just so we can see what we're working on. Don't have to fight with it afterwards. So here we've got the main superstructure portion. So it's a little broken. Okay, we can fix that. That's not a problem. So anyways, we got the main, some of the main superstructure. This is the stand, and that's what this is. Okay, this is the stand, so your USS Missouri decal or plaque, whatever, would go here, right? And these would go up here and under the ship, right? So we're not too worried about those. So we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to set this off to the side. Oops, that's it. Hit the screen. Okay, here again is part of the plaque, and we're going to need these rudders, or not rudders, but propellers, props, whichever you want to call them. So again, always double check your bags, make sure that you have everything. So yeah, we got the props here, prop shafts. So that's going to definitely need some cleaning. We got a 5 and a 4. So we're going to throw that stuff out. Like I said, always double check the bags, make sure that you've got everything out of it, nothing is falling off the sprues. So I'll cut this one open like so. Again, here, being that this is an older kit, it's not too bad. I see a little bit of flash here and there. Nothing crazy. You know, definitely some cleanup and stuff, but not a big deal. It's pretty good. Look at that, loose parts already. See that? Stuck inside here, so not look too bad. Decent detail on them. Not too bad for flash on these, so we're going to throw these extra parts in here. So this isn't an extra part, that's just a piece of sprue there. Okay. Again, I'm going to open this one. Like I said, I want to try and keep these videos a little shorter, so now a lot of these little pieces here may get replaced. These little gun turrets or whatever, right? A lot of these barrels get replaced with brass. Yeah, not too much for flash. Get that all figured out and cleaned up. There's just two of the same sprue. Yeah. So we'll probably have two lifeboats. Probably have some doubles of stuff. Right. If you look at like the cap here, it's, you know, solid and everything for the stacks. So with the photo etch ones, should be a lot better, being that they're photo etched and you'll be able to see through them and stuff, right? So look, another loose part. Now, I'm gonna have to keep track of that stuff. Get myself a little container after. I'll double check all the bags after. Here again, we've got another double sprue, right? So again, a lot of this is all the small guns. Now I don't know if the photo etch replaces all of these. Again, a little bit of flash. I'm hoping that it kind of does. This way, you know, it gives it a lot more detail. But these here are identical parts. And the last one is here. Yeah, I'm going to double check the bags after. Make sure there's nothing loose or missing. And is this a double sprue? No, it's a folded sprue. Okay, there we go. So again, not bad at all here. Decent detail on it, you know, for the year that it is. And again, not much for flash, which is nice in here. There's a little bit of a bend here, so hopefully this is getting replaced. But if not, I'll massage that so that it's flat the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, and other than that, we've got the rigging thread here, some sort of security. What's that? Security text. I don't know. And we got the paper flags. So now these here, I know there's some in the other one. So we'll deal with that after. So I'm going to clean this stuff up and then I'll be back. Okay, everybody. So did a bunch of cleaning, did a bunch of research, figured out where these base plates needed to be. So they're glued on. Now, as you can see though, all right, let's see here, zoom in, focus. So as you can see here, you can see all these gaps, right? Everything's not perfectly fitting, right? But I got everything fitting as good as I can get it, so I'm going to have to fill in this back area, all right? And I'm going to have to fill in along this edge, right? And of course clean up all of this stuff here, right, on both sides. But what I'm looking at is there is supposed to be, I'm not even sure what they're supposed to be, but roughly two big things here, and it took a while to find proper pictures, but they kind of start roughly about here, maybe down here a little bit, but I'm going to put them right about here, one on each side, then they curl up, and I don't even know where they stop up here, right? So I'm assuming they probably stop right near the top, right? So I'm going to have to do that. But first, I'm going to have to fill in all of this to make it look proper. Now, same thing on the sides here. All right, got to fill that in. From what I've seen, these here are like air intake vents. So there's a screen mesh there, but I still have to fill it in first before I can do that. Right now, on turrets, on the turrets for, what is it, 3. What I'm building right now is number 3 and number 2. Right, so this one's going to be on the front of the superstructure, and one of them's at the aft end deck, right? Which has these things that stick out the sides. Now these things here, again, are even the wrong shape. So I'm going to have to modify these a little bit, and of course they kind of figure out which way they go, like that, one way or the other. But anyways, I'll have to round off back bottom corner. The top is square, and then I've got to add these little pieces on the front, right? But even those aren't the proper shape, so I'm going to modify them a little bit. Now there is these pieces here, sorry, there is these pieces here, and the camera will focus on it. Okay, so there's these pieces here, and they are kind of quarter round almost, right? And those go, according to this, they go here, right? So those are probably some sort of air intake vents or something like that. Now I'm going to assume that these ductwork that goes here is what attaches to them, right? Now from what I've seen, they almost seem to go right to the top, but they're telling me to put these down here, so we're going to put them right up against it, and then it curves underneath, right? Away they go. Now that's for this style. Now there is the other one, this one here, which would be turret 1, right? Now it doesn't have these, okay? It has kind of a, it's hard to explain, but it comes off here, right? So it's actually here, but it's built out a bit, right? So I'll have to find some styrene and build it out, right? It comes up, and then it actually turns downwards, and then it's vents underneath it, okay? So looking at this here, you know, where I build this one, it doesn't have that part, but it also doesn't have these. And you can see that this one doesn't have that indent like this one does, right? So by doing that, I'll have to completely make that piece. Now again, here they're showing the life rafts, but in 1991 they got rid of all of those on the sides, right? From any videos that I can see based in the 88 to 91 or 92, when it was fully decommissioned, the ship, and mothballed, I don't even see any on top. Now I think there's some where they actually show that there's a couple on top. Also, these guns here that are on top of turret 2 and turret 3 aren't there, right? they got rid of them. So I'm going to have to eliminate pretty much all of this stuff that's on top. Right? These things here, whatever these little bump outs that they have, I'm going to put them on because they are there. Now, something else is, this is the barrel for the photo etch, right? Now, if you look at the barrel that comes with the kit, okay, technically that's where you should be cutting it off, right? And look at the size difference, right? I don't like that. Now, I don't know why it's such a size difference. This is meant, the brass is meant for the 1/350 scale, which this is. But if you look at these, put in here, can't remember which one I cleaned out. There we go. No, this way. This one here, those guns look proportionate to the turret, right? But if I were to cut that off and put this on there, to me that no longer looks proportionate to the turret, right? But I don't like this. I mean, it's ovaled, it's, you know, it's just not very good. So what I've found is, I found some brass, which is roughly the same size as the biggest section right here, right? I'll try to zoom in for you some more. Okay, so I found some brass that fits the same size. As you can see, that there's a wider section from here to here. This is the same size, right? Then I've got some plastic styrene, right, that fits perfectly in it, right? So I'll cut a piece of brass that fits, right? So a piece of brass, and then that, and then I've got some aluminum tube that again fits inside of that, and this is tubing, right? You can see here that it's tubing, and that fits inside of that. So once you get everything all said and done, you're going to have, if I can get everything in focus here for you, you're going to have something that's going to be a lot cleaner, a lot sharper. And again, it's taken me a long time to find good enough pictures to see all of this. So that's what I'm going to do there. Obviously I'm going to have to cut this off right at the bag and try to drill a 4mm hole in there for the brass tube to fit into. And you're blurry again, right? So I'm going to have to try and cut that off, drill into it, right, so that the brass tube, the part that I cut off, fits in and slides inside the bag section of it. All right. And then from there, once I got that cut to length, I cut my styrene to the length I need, right? And then I put my tube in and cut the barrel to the length that I need. Now I'll end up with the same size as this, but a lot cleaner, a lot nicer looking, and to me the proper proportionate size to this kit. Now I could be wrong, maybe this is too big for the scale, but I like the looks of this one, you know, the size of this one, but I like the look of this brass barrel. But to get the look of this brass barrel, I'm going to have to do it my way, in the proportionate size of this, right? Make sense? So that's where I'm at, and it's taken a bit of research to do so. Yeah, I got some 1mm square rod here. I've also got some 1 1 mil round, so I'll figure out what fits best here, because I'll have to blend it all in and bend it into shape. So I could either use a square and round it, because it's rounded on this corner, right? So this here already has the rounded corner. It's a little proud on the bottom here, good on the sides, at least on that one. This one's good. That one's a little proud. So the round rod might work best. Just flatten it off on the bottom and leave it rounded on the sides. Alright, same thing back here. I'll have to try and fill this in. Now this here should be square, so I can just easily cut a piece and bend it into shape there. So that's what I'm going to do with both of these, and I'll probably pre-assemble this one as well, because it's most likely missing the exact same stuff and probably has the exact same problems. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you that in the next video. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on anything. Hit the like button if you're liking these videos. Let me know what you think of my idea. I'm going to be doing it anyways, because by the time you see the next video, that'll all be done. But let me know what you think. Did I do a good job? I'm trying to represent the ship as good as I can. So, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but hey, I'm doing my best, right? I can't go to the ship and actually take pictures of areas that I want to see and need. And it's not easy trying to find those exact areas of the spots I want to fix, right? And I've watched I don't know how many videos, probably about 4 or 5 hours worth of videos, just to catch little snippets in this spot or that spot, or somebody does a tour on the boat and they happen to kind of pan the camera past, pause it and kind of take a look. Yeah, there's a little bit of it, and find a different video that shows a little more. Same thing with the barrels, trying to get the proper angle and closeness of the barrels, and you know, all that stuff. So, and that's just, you know, the main 16-inch guns. I still got to do this and find pictures and everything else of anything else that I may need to fix. So make sure you stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of work. It's fun. I like it. You know, I'm learning a lot of the history of the ship as well. I learned that it was what was it? Less than a week, I think it was, after being launched. It was beached, and that almost ended Mighty Mo's career right there. And if it wasn't for a certain salvage company that was able to unbeach it, it was getting to the point that they were thinking of just dismantling the ship and scrapping it. So a week after this thing was launched, this thing almost didn't make it anywhere. So, you know, but yeah, okay, so yeah, if you want to give me a follow on my Instagram, my Facebook group, links for them are down in the description. If you want to help out the channel in any way, there's many ways you can do that. You can watch the videos completely. You can hit that subscribe. You can hit that like button. That tells YouTube to put the videos out to more people. You can also hit the join button, and you can hit that PayPal link down in the bottom and donate there. I do that more so because the join button and Patreon both take their cut, and it's quite a bit. So the money that you donate in those places, you're paying them as well as giving a little bit to me. Whereas the PayPal me, anything that's donated comes directly to me to put back into these channels, or into this channel and these projects, right? So with all that being said, have fun with whatever you're building, and I will see you next time.